I recently sent out a survey to a bunch of coaches asking if they were using AI in their coaching, and I actually got a pretty good response. But here's what surprised me. Only about 20% of them said that they were using AI, and those that were mostly just experimenting with ChatGPT. But all of them told me they were interested in learning more. So in this video, I'm going to give you 5 ways that you can use AI in your coaching. But to make those 5 make sense, I'm going to quickly tell you my journey because it might be similar to something you're going through right now. I started using AI in coaching a few years ago, and probably like a lot of you, I would just ask questions just to see what it would give me, like what are some workout ideas, drills, answer some various track questions, whatnot. Sometimes the answers were helpful, sometimes they were way off, but most of the time they were almost what I needed, but I still had to tweak them. And that's something that every coach figures out pretty quickly. AI is fast, but without real coaching logic, the responses can be generic, and you don't know the level of advice that it's coming from, and you don't know if it's been used or successful in the real world, and there's no progression, there's no context, and no sense of your athletes or your season. So then you start creating more specific prompts, and then even more specific prompts, and even more specific, until eventually you realize, I could have just written this myself and saved the time. There is value there, but to get exactly what you need from AI often takes more prompting effort than people realize. And honestly, that whole experience is what pushed me to build what I built, so that coaches don't have to go through the same headache. Around the same time, it was during track season, I was getting lots of emails from coaches and athletes like I tend to do, and I'm very slow at typing, so I had this idea. If AI can answer my questions, could I also train it to answer questions of other coaches in my voice? So I created a custom GPT. If you're not familiar with that, it's basically where you upload your content, your own knowledge, and you give it instructions that you want it to follow, so it starts answering questions with your voice and with your coaching system behind it, and it helped a lot. Around that same time, I was also building my app to host my PDF training plans so that coaches wouldn't have to carry papers around with them at the track just to make something simpler to make their lives easier. But then I was struggling with the problems with PDFs, and honestly, with most coaching plans out there, they're static. They can't adapt to your meet schedules, your facilities, the weather, your athletes' levels, your interruptions. Even if the content is great, you still have to tweak everything yourself. And one day a light bulb went off. What if I could get AI to automatically adjust the training plan to the coach? I thought it might take a couple months, but it took over a year because I had to build all the coaching logic into the system so that the AI wasn't guessing. But once it finally worked, the results are even better than I imagined. If you want to see it, stick around to the end of this video and I'll give you a quick demo. Before I get into the way that coaches can use AI, I'd love to hear how you're using it. Even if you're doing something small or unusual, I'd love to know. Leave a comment or send me an email. I like to make ACE kind of a hub for AI tracking to share what coaches are doing. So all right, let's get into the 5 ways that you can use AI. Number 1, using AI to generate workouts. This is where everybody starts to type, give me a sprint workout, and AI spits out something instantly. But the problem is it's fast, it's generic, it doesn't know the phase of your training, your athlete's level, your meet schedule, what you did yesterday and what you're doing tomorrow, or whether the advice is coming from someone who's ever coached before. So you start trying to be more detailed with your prompts, and even with more detailed prompts, you eventually realize that you've spent 20 minutes creating the perfect prompt for something you could have written in 5, but there is value there. AI is great for brainstorming, but to get real usable workouts, you have to be extremely precise. And that's one of the big reasons that I built my system, to make things easier for coaches and to remove the entire prompt writing process. So, number 2, using AI to suggest drills. AI can absolutely give you drills, but here's the issue. There's thousands of drills out there, and most of them, frankly, I wouldn't recommend. AI doesn't know which ones are effective. It doesn't know the specific issues that your athletes have, and it doesn't know whether your drill matches the problem that you're trying to fix. So yes, it can give you ideas, but rarely gives you exactly what you're looking for. That's why I built my drill library the way that I did. with everything organized by event and ability and focus and by your teaching priority. When AI pulls from that instead of from the internet, it stops guessing. So, number 3, using AI to answer coach questions. This is where AI really shines. As coaches, we always have a lot of questions popping up, and the more you use AI, the more you realize how powerful it can get instant clarity. Things that used to take hours to research, AI can give essentials together immediately. Whether you're using ChatGPT or a custom GPT trained on your own material, the value and the speed and the convenience, it doesn't solve everything, but it can be incredibly useful. Number 4, AI for meet entries and administrative tasks. This one's more niche, but I'll share it because it's part of my own experimenting. Last year, even though I mostly coach online, I decided to help out with a local team. And because I'm a geek about this stuff, I tried to use AI to create the meet entries. I fed it rosters, PRs, win legal marks, notes on every athlete, and meet rules, and it generated the entries for me. But honestly, it was pretty cool, but I'm not totally convinced that it saved me the time in the long run. Still, I'd love to know if anyone out there is creating anything unusual like this, so let me know. Number 5, AI for video and form analysis. Now, this is something I'm working on right now because I get a ton of videos from coaches and athletes asking, hey, can you take a look at this and tell me what I can do to get better? So what I'm doing is I'm working on training AI to spot things to look for in a video and recommend drills that I would give. Now, we're not there yet, but we're getting close, and when it's ready, I'll show you exactly how it works. Now, let me wrap this up with where I stand on AI as a coach. AI is a tool, and it's a powerful one, but it doesn't replace coaching. It doesn't know your athletes. It doesn't understand trust, confidence, frustration, momentum. It can't look at an athlete and say, something's off today. What AI can do is remove the mental clutter, the repetitive work, the stuff that steals time away from your athletes. AI gives you structure, it gives you support, and it frees up some of your time as a coach. That's been my goal with the ACE TrackCoach app. Not to replace coaches, but to support them. If you want to see what this looks like in action, I'll show you a quick demo right now. And if you're experimenting with AI, whether it's small or big, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you're doing because I want to build more videos around this. Here's a look at the app. There's 3 basic functions. There's the practice planner, drills, and ask coach. In the practice planner, you have 2 options. For the workout of the day, you're getting the actual ACE workouts, but customized around your schedule and your calendar because you will have plugged this in. Your other option is to do a DIY where you can sort through a library of the different workouts and piece together your own thing. But for the workout of the day, it knows exactly where you are in your training and when your next meet is coming up. You can get your warm-up information, you can see a video, you can see a list of details. And for the different events that you coach, you can get their specific training. They might have their own warm-up, drills that they need to do. And then there's also the main workout of the day. And these are very specific to the day of the week and the week of the calendar so that your athletes are always improving. And this applies to all of these events. And even if they don't do any of these field events, they have their conditioning. And you can see your workout of the day for all your athletes. And if you ever have a question about one of these workouts or you need to modify it, you just click on Ask Coach. Here you can ask questions like, how do I modify this workout to be indoors? Or what do I do if my athletes are tired today? Or how can I make my hurdler go lower over the hurdles? Things like that. Lastly, there's a drill library where there's about 150 drills in here for all the different events. You can sort through them by which event you're looking for, the athlete's ability level, and what you're trying to work on. That'll narrow it down, and for each of them, you can click on it to see a video and a description and some coaching cues. That's it in a nutshell. If you'd like to try it yourself for free, I'll leave a link in the description and the comments. Until next time, Coach Ace out.